Well, welcome to the Hamilton County Coaches Show. I'm Perry Williams. As you can see, I got head football coach of the Westfield Shamrocks, Jay Gilbert. Welcome, Coach.
Hi, Perry.
Well, Coach, it's this past week you played a very good team in the Fishers Tigers and came out victorious 28-14. But I noticed in the box score and everything, the fourth quarter you scored 15 points. So another good fourth quarter for the Rocks.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because there was a lot of good things that happened in that football game. And Fishers is a very good football team.
Fishers is an excellent football team. So they played without their quarterback, but you know we got our best player hurt on play 2. So injuries are part of it. But they are an excellent football team. I think you know they're one of the best teams I've seen on film this year. I'll say that. So I was really happy to get that win. So encouraged by our players. We started off with a bang. We got a 3-and-out, I think. We got a stop. I can't remember if they got a first down or not, but we scored on our second offensive play, a 70-yard pass play to Gabe Arambolas. So that was huge, and just did pretty well in the first half. They snuck one in on us right before half, which hurt, and that made it 14-7, but I felt like we were in control and we were playing pretty well. Coming back in the second half, we had to stay strong and aggressive against the run, which we did. So Kobe Martin's, you know, one of the very best running backs in Indiana. We held him to 4.2 yards per carry. Hall, they've got excellent receivers, but their leading receiver in the area, he caught some balls on us, but we held him to 4 yards a catch. And so I felt like that was great defense for us against a very explosive offense. They managed to score again late and pull it to within 14, but we were able to pull to within 7, but we were able to get another touchdown there in the fourth quarter and extend it back to 14. Max Nosler had a 70-yard catch and run play that helped. So we had 2 huge plays, a couple more traditional scores, and played really good defense overall. Struggling on special teams, but we got a good pick in the red zone, played very well on both sides of football in the red zone, and had just enough explosive plays and one turnover, about a 1-0, and that was enough to beat a great team like Fishers.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Well, let's kind of talk about, because this week you have Franklin Central, and you're traveling to Franklin Central. They're sitting there 4-4, but when you look at the overall their season, they're a pretty good football team, and they've been in quite a few games. There maybe 1 or 2 there that they, I'm sure that Coach West wish he had back. One being the Zionsville game, and then of course Brownsburg's been, you know, notorious for everybody, but they played Fishers very well, and they did a pretty good job on Southeastern. Only got beat 19-3, so that defense did a good job against a very good Southeastern team. And that game
was 6-3 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So they shut Southeastern down for the most part. It was a very explosive offense until about 7 minutes left or something like that, and HSC scored twice late. So FC has arguably the best skill players in the conference. These guys are amazing, and some of them play both ways, and so they try to stop you, and then you have to defend them. So they've got some really good players who can cover and tackle, but then also run with the ball. So that's been really impressive to watch on film. I think they're well coached because he's a good football coach. So basically the difference, we're 7-1, we've won close games. They're 4-4, they've lost a couple close games. That's the margin, right? So, you know, they probably look at us like, well, we're just as good as that team, we should have a record like that. And I look at them and say, yeah, we're not any better than these guys. We've just pulled out some close games in the fourth quarter. So it may be that kind of game Friday night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting game, especially going down there, and they're looking for a little bit of momentum going in the game there, and for coming up sectional. I know that no one's looking ahead, but that last game is always an important with some time off, because it's a little bit different playing 5A and 6A. Is you get a week break, so you get some more prep time. But this game, and they got a very good quarterback. He's throwing for about 1,500 yards, much like your quarterback, and got some good receivers and do a pretty good job running the football. So.
Well, those quarterbacks were on the same team years ago on our travel team before they moved. So I know he's good. He's got a very strong arm. I think he's done a great job with their scheme. And they can throw the deep ball there for sure. So they're impressive to watch. So we can't let them just throw posts on us all day and get behind us. They've got, again, a couple special players that we're going to have to tackle. And they use a lot of running backs, so they've got depth back there, and they can scare you a little bit. But really, as good as their offense is, I just think their defense is magnificent. So again, just last week they held HSC to 6 points until pretty deep in the fourth quarter. So I feel like their defense has been pretty smothering. They've got great skill in the back half, so they can man you up if that's what they want to do with no problem. They can play zone. They can really crowd the box. They've got pretty physical linebackers, so there's a lot to like.
Yeah, and it seems like with the number of sacks they've had this year, they've had right around 14 sacks this year, and 8 interceptions. So they're not afraid to go after it.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you can pressure the quarterback and still play man back there because you have that level of skill, I think. That can be challenging for teams, but they're really good on defense, no question.
Yeah. So this ought to be an interesting game, and coming up this week. And I appreciate you taking time to talk to me here for a little while. And I know there's a lot of things going on. Because is it difficult, to have that drawing, before you play your last game? Or
yeah, I thought about that before. Like, would it be better if you knew after you played your last game? Well, with a bye, yes. But remember, most teams don't have a bye, so you need some time to organize, get film, make plans, give people a heads up so they know where you're going to travel and all those things. So I think they have to do it when they do it for 1 through 4A.
Yeah.
5A and 6A could do it later. But 1 through 4 has to do it at this time. So is it difficult? Yes. That's part of my job, is to keep our team focused. I mean, we play a great team Friday, so our focus should be on them. We'll get to, the sectional team when after Friday. But it can be hard.
Yeah, but one of the things that I was thinking about when I asked that question, it has a lot to do with the culture and the way you coach, and with your experience of being here. I mean, I've been doing this interview with you for several years now, and you never look ahead. I mean, it's one game at a time. And most of the coaches that I interview are always like that. They don't, and they don't try to work ahead. I mean, you kind of do, but you don't. That's not.
We stay pretty focused and locked in on
who you got coming up.
I think that's something we do well here. We're in the present. We don't get too caught up about the past or the future, but we try to be where our feet are and stay pretty locked in and focused. They're still dealing with teenage boys here, so it's they're going to be excited about what they choose to be excited about. My job is to make sure they're excited about playing the game that we have scheduled for their upcoming Friday.
Yeah.
So that's part of the job of the head coach, I think. The other thing is, I do think the kids understand this part. Okay, you want to play great in the tournament, and we always want to peak around tournament time, and we've done pretty well with that here. But this, like you just alluded to, Perry, this is an important game to sharpen yourself up to play at your best in the tournament. You go out and get smoked in week 9, and now you create problems and doubt and uncertainty. So even if you don't win, gosh, you want to really play well going into the tournament, just to sharpen things up, build confidence, know who you are, know what you should be doing. So I think week 9 matters a lot for the tournament. Really, the last couple weeks, I think, are forecasting for the kind of sectional you're going to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Coach, for taking time out in your busy schedule, and hope you the best of luck going to Franklin Central.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Go Rocks.